is entertain you a little bit and then put you to work. If only for an hour or two. The film, or the presentation I should say, you're about to see is a very recent presentation put out by the Post-Carbon Institute out of California. It was written by Richard Heinberg, and he's written several books on the situations that we're facing now. Many of you might be familiar with it, or familiar with the transition movement. And it is somewhat American, but you know, we're all on the same planet, and we're not that far away from our American people friends to the south. So the issues are really pretty much the same. What this will do is, as I said, it's only about 30 minutes long, and it maybe just gives another perspective. I presume there's probably not a lot of people in the room that are going to see a lot new in this film, but it is, as I said, fairly current. Most of the information and the statistics you will see and hear you will recognize as being very recent. Following that, what I'd like to do is have an open discussion about actual ideas, projects, topics that we might have or look into for future transition meetings. But this goes beyond transition because there's a number of organizations in this area that we work very closely with. It's, as I say, not just about transition. I know we have a number of people here from Andrew Miller, Back to Basics, Living Green, local registered charity. I'm not sure Council of Canadians has anyone here. There's a number of work, and Aware. So there's a number of organizations, and again, we need to look at things we can do, not just as one organization, but as a community. The next biggest thing that we can probably do is figure out better ways to conserve. I mean, everybody's trying that in their home and at different levels, but conservation, as is alluded to here, is probably the next biggest thing we can do. Then the other issues of alternative energy sources and alternative ways of using and producing our energy, either at large scale, albeit locally, or on very small scale, and things like solar ovens. You know, there's all sorts of ways we can look at reducing our consumption. Another issue we talk about in transition, and it's the same everywhere and in every other organization, is the concept of reskilling and doing things that we haven't done simply because we don't need to, because we can buy something new or go to the store and get something rather than fix or repair or reuse or repurpose things. Of course, the huge issue is food and food security. And then you know, that all comes into economic relocalization, because all these things come back to what you have to do locally, and that's really what we're here about today. And in the center of that little set of bubbles, I put in develop a strong community, and I'm not talking just about the larger community of the city of Barrie, the county of Simcoe, or the city of Aurelia. I'm talking about a community of people like are sitting right here tonight, being more connected with each other. Richard Brewerbout and Peter Coyote, who narrated that presentation, talked about sharing things. And it's not only sharing tools, but sharing skills, sharing abilities, and maybe even just sharing a shoulder for people that are about to get a rude awakening as to what is really happening out there. Now, in terms of awareness, I think we are on the verge of a lot of things, amongst not just transition, but I know in particular Back to Basics. There's a lot of things going on that will help us in that area. We are trying to launch the Green Zine magazine locally. We're doing it at a Barrie level, but I would like to do it eventually at a Simcoe County level, talking about these particular issues. I'm hoping that within the next month we will have the first issue out of the Simcoe Green Zine, 5,000 copies. We'll be talking about energy issues and talking about food issues and talking about relocalization transition, we're right now talking to Rogers TV about some spots there, and I know Andrew at Back to Basics, I think, is doing the same thing, so we could get a double bang for our buck in terms of some TV exposure. Social media is, you know, is where it's at really these days, and that's free. Everybody's out there and available to it. There's a number of different groups. The Gear Group at Georgetown College, Living Green, and Transition in some cases have run green screen movies. We'd like to do that as, I'd see it done as one collective and have more regular movies talking about the issues, getting more people aware of what's going on. And Andrew at Back to Basics has signed a partnership agreement to be a partner in the EcoFest this spring. So that being probably the biggest festival in the area that focuses strictly on these type of issues. So we'd all like, and I'm sure Andrew would like to see a lot of people who come out and support that, because there's nothing like the waterfront in June on a nice day to get people out and talk about what's going on. The other picture there is, I guess, representative of public speaking, because there's a number of service groups, all sorts of organizations and groups looking for keynote speakers, and having people within our organizations that can go out there and talk about these issues is just another way of getting that word out there. So that, to me, is, you know, the step number one is making more people aware and understanding what's going on. Now with that, that's about all I want to talk about tonight. What I'd like to do is have an open discussion with the groups, and with people at each table, somebody needs to start writing things down, and I would like to throw it out to the table in terms of projects that you would like to get involved in, projects that you already are working on, topics that we could do. We have a transition, a monthly meetup. This being the exception, we normally meet at City Hall on this night, the third Wednesday of the month, 7 o'clock, or Barrie, is it 7 o'clock we get in now, or 10 after? So we have we do have a regular meeting, and we would like to have a specific topic for each one. So if anybody has ideas for that, we'd like to throw them out there. But there's a number of things you can do. I know a couple of months ago, the Ontario Sustainable Energy Association was in Barrie and did a workshop on solar community cooperatives. I actually have a manual here if anybody wants to take a look at it. We did talk about one location for a potential project. I know in terms of reskilling, there's all sorts of classes going on. Andrew continually in the summertime is teaching people how to farm and so on. Kim Tex is here from Moon Dance Organics, and I believe she's going to run another gardening class and then an extended class at your new farm?
At Mike's place.
Backyard gardening. So I just throw those out there, but then I would now, as I said, I need to shut up and let everybody else talk. I know I spoke to a few people about things, so I'll throw it out to you. And as I said, what I'd like everyone to do is start marking down ideas on your sheets, and then we can move out from a group discussion to table discussion, and maybe expand on some of these ideas, and then bring it back together at the end in terms of, you know, some more major ideas that people could share.